This is Josh Barnett, and you're watching FightCoverage.com.
Okay, we're here with Josh Barnett in his training center here. This is, I guess, where the champions are being made now, right?
Yes.
Eric Paulson's gym, big facility here. And Josh getting ready for his Affliction for the fight against Pedro Rizzo. He's going to get that thorn out of your side, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, it hasn't been hurting me too much, but I tell you what, every time I see that replay, every time I think about the fact that, you know, the first loss on my record doesn't sit well with me, and I don't ever think even after winning this fight there'll be some redemption, but at that time it was his night, and I'm just going to have to live with that.
What do you think? I mean, I know what happened. I mean, obviously he knocked you out. What do you think led to that knockout, and what are you going to change so that it doesn't happen again? I'm sure he's going to become aggressive.
A well-timed overhand right on an overextended left hook. I was just being too aggressive, got too far over my lead leg, and couldn't come back in time to catch the punch as he was throwing it. Got hit with that one, and then he turned into the last one and finished me off. So just experience.
Those top of the head shots really buzz you, don't they?
Yeah, they do, actually. People don't realize that how dangerous it is in MMA to get clipped in the top of the head with those little gloves. And literally, you can get away with throwing less, say, boxing-style technical shots in MMA. You can throw more winging punches. I wouldn't call them sloppy because there are, you know, it's all relative. In boxing, that wouldn't fly, but in MMA, things are different. And some of those winging punches, you clip the top of the head, lights out.
Now, you're going to be fighting Affliction. I mean, we were at the press conference. It was ridiculous, the amount of people that were there. It seems like they're making a really big push. People are taking to it very well. I mean, now tell us this. Let's say you're in charge of Affliction. You're running it. What would you do to make sure it continues and it's a successful organization?
Well, you certainly gotta manage the sort of payouts that you're putting in, and hedging your bets against what the return is going to be on certain fighters. But the biggest thing is you got to just make sure that people tune in. So you got to hit the right markets, the right demographics, and you got to make sure that you can create something that's going to stir people's interest. That's pretty vague of an answer, but that's the honest truth. And I think they've got a way to attack the markets to draw viewers from a place that UFC is not. You know, through their entire retail chain and their retail, through their clothing ties, they have a link to a huge market that UFC does not, that the other fight promotions wouldn't have as well. And these people love what Affliction does, and if Affliction's doing fights, likelihood is they're going to be brought in to see what they're doing. If you start at the very beginning of the Affliction show, you're going to see the entire undercard, which is full of main eventers in their own right, main eventers from every level of show. Guys that main event King of the Cage, could main event Elite XC, could main event Sengoku in Japan, can main event a UFC card, could main event M1 card. I mean, any number of these fighters in the undercard could be a main event in a major show across the world, and they're all stacked in an undercard. You'll be able to see an hour of it for free on Fox Sports, but if you show up at the arena, you get to see all of that, and it's just going to be incredible. Not to mention with the live acts that they're trying to put together, the production, and just and yours truly, it ought to be a real kick-ass show.
Now, speaking of you're not the main event on this one.
Oh, don't get it twisted. Just because there are people after me, I mean, I don't know who's going to want to stay to see after I'm done fighting. People are going to be yelled out, voices are going to be blown out. It's just going to be a huge adrenal dump. It's like they woke up, they poked their girl for a little bit, woke her up, they got their time in, and now they're rolling back over and going to bed.
Well, the other guys that are fighting after you.
The other guys that are fighting after me, they will do a hell of a job. It's just too bad they got to fight after me.
Now, are you slated to fight any of these two guys next, maybe?
You know what? There are no set-in-stone plans at this point. Biggest thing right now, go after Pedro. You know, mount his head on the wall when I'm done. That's what I got to do. I got to bring my A game, and I got to fight him with everything I got. And when that's done, whoever lines up, whoever my target, whoever my scope falls on, they get taken out next.
And now it seems after having no fights last year, now you're back to your busy schedule, and that's how you're going to continue?
Yeah, basically, last year, people were scared. They were running. They didn't want to hire a killer like me. They didn't want me to go in there and mangle up all their people and leave.
It wasn't because of the price, though, right?
No. You know what? They didn't even get the price. They didn't even get the price because, like I said, when you're running, when you're fearful for your life, when you're fearing for your other talent, and you don't want them to get dismembered and hung from meat hooks, then it doesn't. Why even you ain't gonna throw a dollar amount out there because you just don't want to see them get wrecked. Now, Affliction, they're not afraid. They know what it takes to take this to the next level. They want to put the best fighters in there. They want to see the best fights. They're not protecting anybody.
So dismembering and hanging people from meat hooks, is that what you learned at this gym here?
That's what I teach. That's what I live. That's a part of my life. So that's how I do it. There's me that sits there and gives these interviews, and then there's me that does really, really despicable things to people.
Like the throat slash, right?
Absolutely. And that, which is, I see I've got some imitators, and I appreciate that. Could be that they, that's, BJ's licking blood off his hands now. Yeah. You got Thiago Silva doing this, and I think that's all great. I hope that it's all in sort of a homage, because I know that there are people before me doing this. We got Arn Anderson, Benoit, and Undertaker. But that's the thing is, you gotta look to where it comes from, and you gotta give that respect to them.
Like the saying goes, right? Imitation is the best form of flattery.
That's right. I don't blame anybody for wanting to be me.
Awesome. Well, I mean, eventually, one of the guys here, they're gonna want to be, get at you regardless of whether they're scared or not.
That's right, and that is true. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. The people that are out there that are going to want to climb to the ranks, that are going to want to prove their mettle and get those belts, they're going to have to fight guys like me. They're going to have to fight Fyodor. They're going to have to fight Sylvia, Rothwell, whoever it is. That's what's going to have to happen. You cannot avoid that. You can't. If you're going to walk the path to glory, you just can't. There is no sidestep. There is no shortcuts. I mean, who knows where that's going to take you, but it's not going to get you to the end game. You want to get there, you're going to have to go through all the obstacles that are on the road.
And you'll continue to fight in Japan also.
That's right. I'll still be fighting with Sengoku. I'll still be going over there, doing my thing, and bringing that heat to the fans out there in Japan. And I can't let them down. They've backed me up, and they've been such an integral part of my career for so long.
Awesome, man. Well, you get to see his tools, his strategies, and his effectiveness in the Affliction card, because this guy is effective, let me tell you. Josh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Caesar.
Good luck against Rizzo, man.